I'm Kimberly. Allison from Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today in Fingerboard geometry, we'll be covering CAGED minor 7th flat 5 arpeggios. First, we'll look at some fingerings and then we'll do some exercises. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, today in Fingerboard geometry, we're going to look at the minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. This chord is referred to as the half diminished chord. This is not the fully diminished chord. They are similar in that they both have a diminished triad. A diminished triad is R, flat 3, and flat 5, or root, minor 3rd, diminished 5th. The difference lies in the 7, though. A half diminished arpeggio or chord has a flat 7, so the formula is R, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7. A fully diminished chord has a double flat 7, which is a bit to wrap your brain around, but it's the same thing as a 6 in actual pitch. It's just spelled as a 7 in terms of the letter. So that formula is R, flat 3, flat 5, double flat 7. Today we are just talking about the half diminished chord, R, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, that is half diminished. And this chord is diatonic to the major scale, meaning that it's in the major scale itself, and it is located on the 7th degree of the scale. So if you're in the key of C, the minor 7 flat 5 chord would be found on B. This arpeggio or chord is also found in other scales, but you might first come across it within the major scale found on the 7. Now that I've given you a very quick overview on the minor 7 flat 5 and its construction, let's go through the caged patterns. As with any caged pattern, a C octave form looks like this. And I'm on the root D currently, so we're going to go over these on root D to start. This is a C form octave. And let's go through the pattern. Now, I'm going to play the patterns how I typically play them. There are alternate fingerings for some of these, and I will put them on screen. You'll see some of the alternate fingering shown there, but I'm going to stick with what I usually use. I'm starting on the 6th string, and I will be starting on the flatted 5 of D, that's A flat. So flat 5, flat 7, root, minor 3rd, flat 5, flat 7, root, flat 3, and the flat 5 at the top here. Now let's go on to the A pattern for D. So again, the octave shape is any normal A pattern octave shape. I'm going to start this pattern on the flat 5 again. That's again the A flat. Flat 5, flat 7, root, minor 3rd, flat 5, flat 7, root, flat 3. I'm going to come over here for the flat 5 again. And then here's the flat 7. Next we go to the G form, and the octave shape looks like this. Again, these are all D's. And here is the fingering starting actually on the flat 7. So C is the flat 7, and then D is the root, minor 3rd, flat 5, flat 7, root, minor 3rd, flat 5, flat 7, and the root again. Next we move over to the E pattern of D. Now on to the E form. This is the octave shape. These are all D's, and so now let's do D minor 7 flat 5 starting on the root. We have root, minor 3rd, flat 5, flat 7, root, minor 3rd, flat 5, flat 7, root, minor 3rd. And finally, we have the D pattern of D. Here's the octave shape. Those are D's. And I'm going to start on the 6th string on the minor 3rd, that's F. So this is my minor 3rd. Flat 5 is A flat. flat 7 is C, root, minor third, flat 5, flat 7, root, and minor third. Now, let's get a look at this on another root. All right, let's get a look at G minor 7 flat 5. I'm going to start on the E form, and the octave shape looks like this. And here's the arpeggio pattern: root, minor third, flat 5, flat 7, root, minor third, flat 5, flat 7, root. Next we have the D form of G. That's my octave shape. And then we have the arpeggio pattern starting on the low minor third, flat 5, flat 7, root, minor third, flat 5, flat 7, root, minor third. On to the C form. Here's the octave shape. And I'm going to start on the low flat 5, so flat 5, flat 7, root, flat third, flat 5, flat 7, root, flat 3, and the flat 5. Next we have the A form. The octave shape looks like this. And here's the arpeggio pattern starting on the flat 5. That's the flat 7, root, minor third, flat 5, flat 7, root, minor third, flat 5, and flat 7. Finally, the G form of G. This is the octave shape. And the arpeggio looks like this. I'm going to start on the flat 7. That's F. Flat 7, root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7, and root. Now, let's go on to the exercises. So for our exercises, we're going to connect the minor 7 flat 5 arpeggios up the fretboard, and we can use the circle of fourths for this, or you can roll for a root. Musical die is very useful. So in the exercise demonstration, I actually just rolled for a couple of roots, or you can just use the circle of fourths. I'm going to demonstrate this on one of the roots that I did not roll for, which is A, and so I just play the 5 arpeggio shapes connecting up the board, and you try to start down here in the first few frets. So for the root A, I'm going to start in the G pattern. So that means I'm going to start on my pinky here, and so make sure you play ascending and descending versions of the arpeggios. That means up and back. So here's A minor 7 flat 5 in the G form. A minor 7 flat 5 in the E form. Here it is in the D form. C form. And finally, the A form. Let's get a look at the exercises. That's it for Caged minor 7 flat 5 arpeggios. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.